Barcelona's 3-0 win in Mallorca read on paper like a tidy pre-season result, but the night at Sonwayar quietly shifted how you might imagine the club's near future. Lamine Yamal reminded everyone why he is regarded as one of the most electric talents in world football, delivering a goal and an assist with that frightening blend of directness and invention. Yet while the highlights will rewind his tricks, the most consequential story unfolded where crowds don't always roar, in the spine of Barcelona's defence, where Pau Cubarsi, an 18-year-old La Masia graduate, began to feel less like a prospect and more like a responsibility. Thrust into a role created by Inigo Martínez's exit, Cubarsi spent 69 minutes demonstrating traits usually reserved for players with far more miles on their boots: impeccable positioning, a calmness under pressure, and a passing game that turned risk into control. Completing 48 of 52 passes, a 92% success rate, wasn't just tidy. In Hansi Flick's system, where centre-backs must start attacks and manage space high up the pitch, it is essential currency. The passing stat reads like evidence that Cubarsi understands the demands of a team built to dominate possession rather than merely survive. He also won key aerial duels and read transitions with an anticipation that stopped attacks before they ripened into danger. Paired with Ronald Araujo, whose physicality and temperament remained central to Barca's defensive identity, Cubarsi offered the kind of balance coaches dream of: one body to challenge and assert, another mind to organise and recycle. That balance produced 3 consecutive clean sheets across pre-season fixtures, a sequence that suggests structure rather than luck. Caveats are necessary. Opponents were not always at full throttle, and Mallorca's evening had its own distortions. But the psychological lift of watching a teenager assume responsibility matters as much as any stat. When a club loses a leader, it risks disorientation. When another steps forward, even a young one, the group regains shape. What makes Cubarsi's emergence intriguing is not bravado but adaptability. He has shifted to a left-sided central position and adjusted his angles without the fumbles often associated with positional changes. Instead of panicked clearances, he offered measured progressions. Instead of risky misreads, he produced interceptions that looked as if he had practiced them for seasons. Under Flick, that ability to bring the ball out under pressure is the difference between being pressed into mistakes or converting defence into an immediate attack. Still, the season ahead will be the true measure. Friendly fixtures provide a comfortable studio. Elite competition brings an audience that tests concentration, speed, and ruthless decision-making. Cubarsi will be judged on how he copes with late runs into the box, powerful strikers who bully space, and tactical presses designed to punish hesitation. Those are the moments when promise either crystallizes into a fixture in the starting Ekian or remains a compelling footnote. For Barcelona, however, this moment is more than a single player's audition. It signals a potential recalibration of identity. If youth can be trusted in the spine, Barca can lean into a model that blends La Masia's production with Flick's tactical rigour. That would be a strategic shift as much as a personnel one. A club that has historically recycled names from past successes might instead be crafting a new core, younger and quicker, to adapt to modern pressing games. The emotional component should not be underestimated either. Supporters respond to narratives. A rising youngster anchoring the defence becomes a symbol, a point of hope after exits and uncertain summers. Cubarsi's calmness reassures, Araujo's leadership steadies, and Yamal's fireworks excite. Together they sketch a team capable of both artistry and structure. For Nene, the reasonable conclusion from Mallorca is cautious optimism rather than premature coronation. There are still tests to come that will stretch this defence in ways friendlies have not, but watching an 18-year-old interpret and execute the role of organiser with such poise is a rare sight. Barcelona's 3-0 may be filed away as another pre-season win, but for those watching the spine of the team, it was a rehearsal with far-reaching implications. A young player accepted a responsibility. And for the first time this summer, the club looked as if it might have the internal answer to a big departure. Whether Pau Cubarsi turns this early promise into a defining season remains to be seen, but the first chapter has been written with professionalism and calm, and that is exactly how leaders begin.